Hello and welcome back to the episode 7 of Road to Number 1 in India. Today's episode is very special because I've reached my all-time high ranking, that is ELO in GeoGuessr, and which is 1258 ELO. Today's video is gonna be a little different from the usual ones because I played the duels off camera. I recorded them, of course I screen recorded them. So I'm gonna be presenting the duels and my thought process behind each guess. Enjoy the video and I hope you all learned something from this video. Thank you. Let's jump into the video. Okay, so this is the first duel and let's see how I performed in my first duel. And I'll also explain my guesses and my thought process behind my guess. As you can see, I was on a 5 winning streak already and we had an opponent which was 1228 rated. Let's see how we did. Okay, so this was the first round and immediately I clicked on the screen. Wait a second. Yeah. So I immediately saw a big mountain, a big dry mountain, and some dryness. I thought it could be like Wyoming or Utah, somewhere in that region in US, because the sun was also to our south, so it makes sense for not for it being northern hemisphere. Then in the last 5 seconds, I saw a sign which had Spanish in it, so I quickly changed my guess to Mexico. And it was a great guess. It was near Durango, where I guessed I was 73 kilometers close. So, yeah, that was a great guess. Thanks to that sign. Shout out to that Mexican sign, which had Spanish in it. And the second round, we were in Australia. There was nothing particular about this like this round for it to be any state in Australia, but the Bullards were Australian, of course, and I thought it could be Victoria, New South Wales, somewhere. It could be Western Australia as well. So I just guessed Western Australia, but I switched my guess to Victoria and New South Wales, and it was a good call because it was near New South Wales. I was pointing that it could be Western Australia, but it was just New South Wales, and that was a great guess as well. And we moved to round 3. I don't usually play no move duels, but I thought why not? And this was a very beautiful location. As you can see, a big waterfall, and it was very pretty. I screenshotted it. That's why I paused for a second. And yeah, it looked like Indonesia, maybe Philippines because of the vegetation. The people were standing. That boy looked very Asian actually. So I thought this could be Philippines or Thailand, but Thailand is not that dense. I thought so. Yeah, I just guessed Philippines somewhere in the middle hedge. I went for a central hedge because I wasn't sure. I was looking for at the Google car because I wanted to know where are we driving. Because if we were driving on the left, we would be in Thailand, and if we are driving on the right, we would be in Philippines. I was very confused about this round. Thought for a really long time. Then I think I guessed Philippines. Yeah, I was confused between Sulawesi and Philippines, and I guessed Philippines, but it was just Indonesia in Java Island. Thankfully, he guessed Brazil. I was annoyed because I wanted to guess Indonesia, but it was a tough 50-50. So that was the third round. And we moved on to the fourth round where I saw a hill and some palm trees, and it was quite hilly, and we didn't have any specific meta to be Brazil, but they were round poles and they weren't the typical Brazilian ladder pole, but I knew that if we get like very dry and big hills and red soil, it could be Espírito Santo in Brazil or Rio de Janeiro. So I guessed near Espírito Santo, and it was a really great guess. Near I was 36-kilometer close, and that's how I won my first duel. Yeah, I was quite happy with myself because the last guess was pretty awesome. And yeah, the first round Mexico, second round Australia, pretty easy, standard. Third round was a bit difficult, but we managed. And fourth round was just unbelievable. So really happy about that. And yeah, I played another duel after this. Okay, this is the second duel which I played, and I had the same opponent, and his name is Fitox. He's from Russia, and we were on a 6 winning streak. So I thought maybe we can win, or maybe we can lose a winning streak. So the one, we have the round one here, and there wasn't anything particular about this being any specific country, but this is Gen 2 coverage, like you can see the big blur. And I thought maybe Ireland or France because of the vegetation, and it was just France. I made a good call there. So yeah, that was just France. We had round 2, which was pretty standard Nigeria. We had African people, we had a big antenna, and we had a big car blur. And we also had a police follow car, which is pretty common in Nigeria. So if you ever see a police follow car, it could be in Nigeria, it could be in Kenya if you are in Africa. With this antenna and the car blur, this was definitely Nigeria. I thought it could be just the capital Abuja, and I was on the 5K, but I switched. You'll see in the video. Yeah, I was right on it, but it's fine because he went Lagos. And yeah, that was round 2. Moving on to round 3, which was quite, we had rolling hills, we had a narrow road, and we had a weird cobbler. Maybe I thought it's low cam, so if you see a low cam, it's always Switzerland, but I was confused, and it wasn't a low cam blur. Turns out to be it was just Austria, and it was just a mountain or a valley in Austria. So yeah, that wasn't a bad guess either on my side. But yeah, we moved on to round 4, and that was a pretty standard Paris. I saw Paris, I saw African people, I went Paris. Just kidding. It was just South Africa with this kind of I also saw a van which said .za. So za, wow, that was a nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So about this round, we had African people. We were driving on the left. We had no weird cobbler. So this was pretty standard. South Africa. I was trying to line up the road. You can see. I zoomed in on towns to like line up the road angle. Turns out to be I couldn't find one, so I just guessed in the capital Johannesburg, and it was just a town near Johannesburg. And you can see the road angle perfectly matches. That was round 4, and round 5 we had multipliers on. What was this? We had snow-capped mountains. We were driving on the left. You can see that we were driving on the left here. So this was surely New Zealand or Ireland. I saw the sun, it was in the north, so I was sure we were in the southern hemisphere. And it doesn't usually, Ireland doesn't usually have snow-capped mountains as far as I know. So I guessed New Zealand, and here too I was on the 5K and I switched. But it's fine because not much damage is being done. So that was round 5, and round 6 double damage. Okay, about this round, it was very weird and maybe very easy for some people, but like I was really tensed. It was an intense round, and I saw we were driving on the left. It was a fairly developed country. We had signs which looked very American like, and we had a very big city to our east. And I saw the sign, I thought maybe South Africa because South Africa generally uses these kind of green signs. But I saw the giveaway sign, I thought maybe Australia. to be honest, I thought it's really just South Africa. So I started scanning for 32 in South Africa, but couldn't find any clue, and I was still in South Africa, to be honest, and I couldn't figure out where this was. So I just kept zooming onto some random things, trying to find some clue. And you'll see in a bit what was this. But I should know this skyline. And the people watching this video may know what city is this. I saw that keep left sign at the last moment, and I thought maybe it's Australia. Definitely it's Australia because we don't get that keep left sign in South Africa, I think. So I zoomed in on Perth. I tried to find the 32, but I thought it's a fairly big city, so it could be Melbourne. So I just zoomed in on Melbourne and I had my fingers crossed and I guessed Melbourne, and I was thinking it could be Darwin, but it was just Melbourne, and that's how I won my second duel. He guessed Brisbane, so that's Australia for you. Guessing the wrong city makes you lose the duel. So yeah, that was a fairly good duel for me, and I was pretty happy about that. Round 1 France. So yeah, that was basically my second duel. Okay, after that win, I played another duel which I lost, but after that I played one more, and I played NMPZ this time because I prefer NMPZ over no move. And we had an opponent. You can see he's from Champions Division. We had the map an arbitrary rural world, which is pretty difficult map. So yeah, we had an opponent from Germany. He's 1335 rated. I'm 1237 rated. Almost 100 elo difference. Let's see. Okay, the first round was Russia, and I saw the bollards. I thought maybe it's far east because we also had a railway track going along the road, and we had some mountains to our northwest, maybe, or north. I don't know, but I thought it could be far east Russia, and I was trying to scan for the railway track, but I didn't find one, and I thought it could be just central because central Russia has many mountains. So I sticked with my risky guess, but it was just central where I was zooming. I could have bagged many points there, could have done a big damage, but it's okay because it was just round 1 and round 2, which felt like so we have some concrete block roads, right? So this is usually in Philippines or Thailand. If you see concrete blocked roads, it's generally Philippines or Thailand. I guessed Philippines because I thought it could be Philippines. So yeah, and we also did not have a Thai pole which has like small holes in it. Round 3 was looked very Russian to me, so I just quickly guessed Russia, and turns out it was Ukraine. And I think we lost some major points here, almost like 1.5k or 2k points. Yeah, it was just Ukraine, and yeah, we lost 1000 points. We Yeah, that was round 3. I didn't have high hopes with this particular duel because, of course, he's from Champions Division. He would know better than me. But NMPZ, it turns out to be a good mood for me generally. This was round 3, I guess, and we had a transformer on the pole. I was pretty confused about this round in particular because I saw a yellow and black sticker on that pole which is far away, and I thought that it could be Taiwan or South Korea. I guess South Korea because I saw some greenhouse like domes on some farms, which is generally in South Korea. That always helps me, to be honest. And round, what was this round? I don't know, but this was a pretty tough round because I didn't even guess the continent right, I think. Yeah, so this was a pretty tough round for me. I thought these are eucalyptus trees, but turns out these aren't. And I guess just Australia because I already said GG. Like, I knew that he would know and I wouldn't. And it was Europe, in Italy. I somehow survived that thing. If he guessed Italy, my game was over. But I somehow managed that round and we moved on to round 6. I saw this signpost, like speed limit sign, and it had a black back. It had black paint on the back, which is a good clue that you are in Brazil. So I immediately guessed Brazil, and somehow we were a bit closer than him. So we did 1000 damage there, and we took the lead. Okay, now it's getting intense. Uh, 2.5 times damage. I am particularly annoyed about this round because I had the right country after guessing. I was trying to make quick guess. I don't know why, but I saw the sun is in south, so this was definitely in the northern hemisphere. But the poles looked like they could be in Peru, and the architecture as well. So I just immediately guessed Peru and realized after that that the sun is in the south. And I sent the crying emoji and I zoomed in Mexico. I wanted to guess Mexico, but technically we could have won at this round, but I was pretty annoyed, to be honest. We moved on to round 8, which had triple damage, and I quickly guessed Germany because it was a standard German or maybe European looking round, and turns out it was in Czechia, I think. Yeah, I didn't know, and I was quite annoyed, so I just guessed Germany, and we both guessed Germany, and we moved on to round 9, which was the penultimate round, I think. Let's see, 3.5 times damage is quite big, and this location was quite rough. I just guessed in somewhere in Europe, hoping that he guesses somewhere in South America. So I just guessed Croatia because it looked kind of Eastern Europe, and turns out it was in Greece, and I was a bit closer. So of course we win the duel, and we move on to the rating of 1257. So that was the game. And thank you so much for watching this video till here. I hope you all learned something from this, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye, take care.